All right, so we're going to do a little metal polishing today. So you can see if this thing focuses. See all the scratches on this? This one, I've already sanded this with 180 grit, and how deep you have to go just really depends on how much wear or grooves or marks are on this on your metal. This one had some pretty deep grooves I was trying to get rid of since I'm trying to go for a mirror finish on this one. This side's already been polished a bit, just for a comparison, but this is kind of where it starts. And the tools of the trade are pretty simple. Sanding, but just to different degrees and different methods. With all sanding, you're basically trying to only go as deep as you need, or high as grit as you need to get rid of your defects, and then step up to the next level to get rid of those scratches. So this was 180. So here's that sandpaper there. Has some 220, which I'll use next. And then from there, I'm going to go to a 400, and then I'm going to go on to my buffing wheels as the alternative way to deal with this. So if you look here, so my setup right now is got 3 buffer wheels set up. You can see that one down there too. And this is just for kind of simplicity. Basically, the wheels have different stiffness, and that it's kind of equates to the level of grit and sandpaper action that they have. So the red one here is the hardest. I use that with a compound that's supposed to get about 400 grit scratches out. The pink is a green rouge level, which is typically for if we were just polishing stuff up to make it look nice and shiny, we would just use that. And then this white wheel here is for the mirror finish at the end. So basically I'm going to step up through. This was at 180. We'll go 220 by hand here. And then we will go on and see how the wheels do. So I'm just going to put it here in the vise just to make it easy to move around, and or it doesn't move around on me. Some 220 grit here. I'm just using a sanding block instead of my finger to keep it nice and flat. Doesn't take much. On the vise here, the no sanding block seems to be a little better. Just going to go over this. Nice straight lines. Don't make it harder on yourself. Going to go around that lip, the bow a little bit. Just get this nice and uniform. At this level, it doesn't look much better, but it's a process. All right. So here it is here. Doesn't look a whole lot different, right? It's still scratched, but it's much finer scratches. So from here, I'm going to jump right up to basically 400 grit. And I'm going to use this wheel to try to make it a little easier for me. You can do this by hand with Scotch pads too, but I had this wheel and I'm going to try it out, so I'm just going to go with it. And no, I'm not a Neanderthal that doesn't have battery-powered drills, but for this stuff, you really need wired stuff. You need the juice. You don't have to worry about going too far past where you were, because the next level is going to sand those out anyway. But I'm hoping that looks pretty good. I'm still seeing some stuff there that I'm not super thrilled with, so I'm going to go grab some Scotch-Brite and maybe do this part by hand and see how that goes. So please hold, I'll be right back. And when we say Scotch-Brite, we literally mean Scotch-Brite. The green pads are about equivalent to about 400. You do wear out, so they're consumable, but just use them like sandpaper. Just trying to get nice and uniform. All the areas I touched with the lower grit. All right, let's do. I think that's a little better. Not the main mark. There's some trails I could see before. Now let's see. See very fine scratches. Now we're going to move on to the machines. Simply put, these things make a mess. You definitely want to wear a mask because otherwise you will have dust boogers for days after using these. They just spew so much loose material. I really should be wearing different clothes right now too because they do make such a mess. Let's see, I need my black bar. What you do is, these wheels already have some compound on them, but I'm going to freshen them up. So here's my bar of for the heavy cut. All you do is spin the wheel up, rub this in some, and let it take some of the material. Spins up and goes very fast. I really should be wearing gloves, but today all right. I said I should be wearing gloves, and normally I would, but I'm in a little bit of a hurry right now to do this, so I don't want to go back upstairs and get my gloves. But to give you an idea of what's going on here, try to wipe this a little bit. Definitely finer, but there's some scratches there that probably going to give it another pass here to see if I can flatten out a little more. Part of the reason why I said you should be wearing gloves is these pieces get all hot when while you're doing this. Like burn your hand, can't hold it hot. I don't know. Let's just keep going and see how we do here. I'm a little concerned down there. I'd like to flatten that out a little better there. Now you got to be really careful when you're around the edge of a piece like that. Like I'm trying to cut right around this little edge here. The wheel will grab the piece and just rip it out of your hand. not only does it throw the piece across the floor, but when it grabs and rips out of your hand, these little edges, everything else will destroy you. So that's why I'm cheating right now, and should really be wearing my gloves, but trust me, next time I do this, I will be. I think that's a little better. Let's keep going and see what we get. So now we're going to move on to the rouge green stage. I'll load the wheel up. So I still got some scratches down near the bottom that I'm not necessarily happy with. It's hard to get this on camera. Got too much shine, but basically right along here, the bottom 1/4 inch, some heavier sandy marks in there that I'd prefer to be without, but I guess the wheels may be having a harder time with these other edges around it. I'm just going to keep going up just to see what we get. Going real quick. You can see how quick each step is here. It's only a couple seconds really each. So let's go to the next wheel here. This is my purple other tool of the trade, face mask. Do the things I'm supposed to do. It gets harder to hear me, but keeps it from parts flying in my face. All right. Just kind of wiping the material off the piece. And I don't know. There's still some fine scratches in there that not really a true mirror finish. Certainly very reflective. Give you something you can actually maybe see in the reflection. So there you go, you can see. Oops. Reading the label here. There's another way I can do this where you can. I think you got the idea. So those are the basic steps. me cheating along the way, cheating safety, which I will fix later. That's always the excuse, right? And that's a little test piece. And it gets a lot harder when you do the bigger pieces, but see what that gets me. See you later.